So hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we are diving deep into the IELTS exam. Whether you are taking it for a student visa or to reunite with your family or because you need it for work, this guide is going to help you understand every single part of the test and how to prepare for it and how I prepared for it. So grab a pen, take some notes, and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we need to get clear on is which IELTS test do you need to take. So there are basically two main and most used version of the test. The first is academic IELTS and the second is general training. Academic is for those of you who are planning to study abroad at an English speaking country or a college or a university, and this version focuses on the kind of English you will use in a study environment. So you have to expect things like longer academic texts in mostly reading section and data interpretation in the writing section. And it is more about how well you can handle the kind of English you will come across in textbooks or during your lectures. So the second one is general training, and this is the one you will take if you're moving to an English country for work or family reunification or just general migration. So the focus here is more on everyday English, the kind you will use at your job to navigate daily life or to interact with people around you. And the reading and writing sections are tailored to be more practical with tasks like writing a letter or understanding a job advertisement. Okay, so that was a general overview of how many types of IELTS tests are there. So now I will be giving you the tips that how you can prepare for IELTS and get good bands. So the number one thing is to book your test. I know this might seem confusing and obvious, but a lot of people put it off because they are waiting to feel that readiness. But here is the thing, that if you do not have a test date locked in your calendar, you are not going to have the same sense of urgency in you. And it's like setting a finish line in a race. Once you know that when the test is, you will have a concrete goal to work towards. So just go online, find a test center near you, choose a date that gives you enough time to prepare, whether 1 month or 2 months, but you have to work it. Once you've got the date in your calendar, you will feel a lot more focused and more motivated. Plus, it will help you build a study plan around the date. So it's all about making yourself accountable and having a deadline. That is the first step. So the second thing is understanding the IELTS test format. I'm going to give you the overview. So it's super important to know what you're up to against because you can prepare effectively. So there are basically 4 sections, and the first one is listening section, which is mostly about 30 minutes. If you're taking the paper-based IELTS, it is 30 minutes plus 10 minutes for transferring your answers to the sheet. So this part is same for academic and general training. You will listen to 4 recordings, a mix of monologues and conversations, and they will be played once. So you have to be very focused. And you will be answering 40 questions in total, and they will test you on how well you can follow and understand the main ideas, specific details, opinions, attitudes, and the purpose of the speakers. So my tips for practicing listening is practicing without subtitles. Watch English movies or series without subtitles to get used to different accents without knowing what is getting spoken. And focus on the keywords. When practicing, learn to pick out keywords and questions that will help you point out the answers in that audio. And you will have to simulate the test conditions. Do not pause or replay during practices. Get used to the fact that you will only hear once each recording in the test. So here's what you can do. You can start with sample official tests. Go to the official IELTS website and download the sample listening tests. Make sure you are sitting in a quiet place with no distractions. Listen without pausing or replaying the audio. And if you miss something, it's okay. Just keep going. The real test won't give you a chance to go back, so practice under the similar conditions. The second thing is to mark your mistakes. After you have done, you go through the answers and see where you went wrong. Maybe you misunderstood the word or missed a detail or got confused about an accent. By analyzing your mistakes, you will know what to focus on. So another thing is to listen during your dead time, the time in which you are doing nothing. And this is a big one. Use all those moments when you are doing nothing, like when you are commuting, you are cooking, or even working out. Listen to English podcasts, audiobooks, or even YouTube videos of me or someone else. And this way you are building your listening skills without taking extra time of your day. And over the time, you will notice that understanding different accents and fast-paced English becomes a lot easier. So the first thing was to start IELTS exam practice by listening module. And the second thing which I want you to focus on is speaking. Overcome the fear of speaking up. This can be one of the most intimidating part, but I promise it doesn't have to be. The trick is to get comfortable speaking English in any situation. You don't need a partner or a fancy course to do this. You can just talk to yourself and record yourself whenever you are alone, like on your way to work or while doing course. Start speaking in English about whatever comes to your mind. It could be anything, the weather, what you had for breakfast, something interesting you read. So the goal here is to get your brain used to thinking in English and to practice forming sentences spontaneously. So do not worry about mistakes. This is just for you. So there is no need to be perfect. The idea is to get comfortable with English speaking naturally, and when you're talking to yourself, there is no need to judge you. So you can experiment with new words, phrases without any fear. And while talking to yourself, if you realize you don't know how to say something, make a note of it and look it up later and try to use it next time. And in this way, you are constantly expanding your vocabulary in a practical way. The other two most important modules are writing and reading. So once you are comfortable with listening and speaking, move on towards writing and then reading. And by this point, your brain will be more used to thinking in English while listening and speaking practice. So generating ideas and understanding complex text will be a lot easier for you. So for writing, you will have to practice different type of tasks. If you're taking academic test, practice describing data like charts, graphs, tables. And if you're going for general training, get used to writing with different kind of letters, complaints, requests, apologies. The second section for writing is essay, and it is most likely similar in both kind of IELTS exam. So pick common IELTS topics like environment, technology, education, and write essays on them. Focus on making your argument clear and backing it up with examples. And do not worry about IELTS exam. I'm going to record each video regarding each of the modules and the tips which I used, and I got 7.5 bands in the preparation of just 3 weeks. I will guide you step by step for how to approach towards IELTS examination and IELTS preparation, so do not worry about it. So next part is reading. You can read everything: newspaper, magazines, online articles, anything which is in English. Try to understand not just what being said, but how it's being said. You have to know the context, and you can practice by sample test. You have to time yourself. While practicing, you have to time yourself. Set a timer and just finish your work before that timer. The IELTS reading section is as much about speed as it is about comprehension. The more you practice, the quicker you get and the more accurate you will become eventually. Finally, the most important tip is to practice a lot. There is no shortcut here. Even if you have 3 weeks of time, you have to practice a lot. The more you practice, the more confident you feel. And use the official IELTS practice material and try to simulate the real exam conditions as much as possible. And remember that learning a language is a marathon and it is not a sprint, and it takes time, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way. Each mistake in your answers is just an opportunity to learn and improve on that specific part and that specific section of IELTS exam. So keep pushing forward and trust me, you are going to get there easily. Alright, that's all for today's video. I hope this video gave you a little bit of value towards your IELTS preparation. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips, because I'm going to make more videos on these IELTS modules. And if you've got any question regarding this video, you can drop comments below, and you can also message me on Instagram. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your preparation, and I know you are going to crush the test. See you in the next video.